All right, guys, welcome back. This is the Ultimate Racing Network. I'm Ryan McDowell, your host. This is V8 Supercars 2015 Round 4 at Bugatti Circuit in Le Mans. This race is going to be run under night, and as usual in the commentating box, we have Ryan Shelton with me. Say hello.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right, so we've got a pretty interesting situation here. This is race 2, which is going to be the longer of the two, 26 race laps with one formation. We did just lose a driver, so unfortunately there's only going to be 11 drivers here. So the current grid order then for this race is reversed by standing. So that means we're going to see Midland Zeta on pole. One Big Kicker is second. Kaipi BR is third. J Parrot 46th is fourth. F4H Eggy is fifth. DKS Monkey is sixth. LRT Nath is seventh. N6R Gannon is eighth. F4H Diablo is ninth. TPR Zermatt is 10th. LRT Breeze then will be 11th. We're going to get our timing car sorted here. This should be a very grueling race, honestly. With this being nighttime, reduced visibility, the drivers are going to have to worry about more than just, watching out for their tires, watching out for fuel, watching out for their racing line. But, they're also, with the reduced visibility, everything is so much more stressful to make sure that they're not, missing their turn-in points, their braking points. They're going to have to still worry about working their way through slower traffic, as this is reverse gridded based on the normal season standings here. It's definitely going to be a tough race overall.
Yeah, and not only that, like I was saying in the shorter race, you'll start seeing guys, especially coming closer to the pit stop, you'll start seeing them kind of search around the track, maybe do a different line, maybe a late apex into turn 4 or early apex and try to get the grip out of it. Some of these guys may have loaded up a new tune just specifically for this race, for how hard the actual race is. This track is very, very difficult to put the power down and also get the car turned, especially in a couple of certain corners. They're very, very tight, very, very long corners also. So you'll probably see a lot of guys change their setup, probably put a little more mechanical grip into the car. As you'll probably see, some of these guys will probably start to look into the race more as the endurance, I should say, by putting a little more mechanical grip in it versus trying to get the car to go fast.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's not going to be much point in messing around with downforce here, as they're going to be pretty much full anyway.
Yeah, and as we saw in the first race, it was definitely a struggle on the tires towards the end of the race.
So we've got about 15 seconds until green light here for the second race. It's going to be a longer race, probably around 50 minutes in length. We got 5 seconds here. Engines are revving. And they're off.
And it looks like Midland Zeta got an absolutely brutal start.
Oh man, 4 wide. 4 wide here going into turn 1.
The question is, will we get through turn 1, or turn 2 I should say now, completely clean? It looks like there's some small hitting, some small contact. It looked like it involved DKS Monkey Aids and One Big Kicker along with LRT Nath. Looks like they're all kind of battling for position here and just trying to make sure they don't get knocked out in this first lap.
Yeah, absolutely. So Midland Zeta still leading this race, but good lord, we've seen N6R Gannon move up from 8th to 2nd. 8th to 2nd in 4 corners. Actually, it was 2 corners when he made it, but it's really impressive to see that happen.
Yeah, and Kapai VR actually lost a lot of places. Starting in 3rd place, he's back now to 10th. So he's almost in the last.
Actually, now 11th.
Yeah, it looks like Breeze may have just overtaken him. So he has moved his way into the last position right now. But as you said, Gannon has just made up a huge amount of spots. It seems to be a current theme that's starting to form. Looking at these reverse grids, there's always one of the fast guys who make a huge leap through the first couple of laps, going all the way up to almost the front, just the first couple laps, and then eventually running away with it. It happened with LRT Breeze at Long Beach. He had managed to make a lot of positions up while GSR Roadrunner got into some contact with Zermatt.
Yeah, I think like, your analysis is definitely right.
What move here on Zeta, Midland Zeta. Now they do have 25 laps left in this race, so it's definitely not going to be a sprint race. So he's not going to try to make a pass that's not there. You want to be smart about it. Use what you get.
Goes around the outside on the exit of turn 5. That is the position taken.
But it was just enough to where it looks like he'll be able to clear him and actually take that first position away. As Zeta's car does look a little bit loose on the rear end.
We're going to go back and ride on board with One Big Kicker. He is currently 6th, chasing down DKS Monkey and Jay Parrott, as well as F4H Eggy ahead. They're all trying to catch up to Midland Zeta to pick up some more points.
Yeah, it looks like Jay Parrott actually has improved on his first race. His first race did not go how he wanted it to. Now he's currently in 4th. Last race he started 4th and went all the way back to finishing in 8th position after having a horrific start. This race looks to be a little bit better for him as he's just behind Eggy and trying to make up ground there to maybe secure a 3rd place position.
That could be a big ask here. Now he started 4th, currently running 4th, but he's already lost a position to Eggy. As you look at it, like you said, IPBR really losing out there. Jay Parrott should have been running 3rd, but has already had Gannon get around and F4H Eggy. One Big Kicker then moving back from 2nd, currently 6th, with F4H Diablo all over the back of him.
Yeah, and it looks like Eggy is actually trying to make the same move that that Gannon actually made here on Zeta, trying to use that turn 5 as his passing point, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it this lap around. But while Midland Zeta is actually holding up the field, it looks like DKS Monkey is starting to make up some ground on Jay Parrott here. See if maybe he can get a pass happen before he gets up to Midland Zeta.
F4H Diablo in 7th, still trying to find some way around One Big Kicker. They went side by side through turn 6 there. Couldn't get it done, so he had to back off, file back in, and wait his turn. They're currently all rounding turn 10 right now, coming down into the double right-hander of turn 11.
Looks like LRT Nath actually loses a spot out to Zermatt. Zermatt will move up into the 8th position after Nath went a little wide on turn 11.
Oh, looks like Diablo is going to get the job done here into turn 2 around One Big Kicker. One Big Kicker just went a little bit wide there on the exit of turn 1. Which it really shouldn't be. It's kind of a null turn there. There's not really anything to brake for. You just got to turn in at the right point. But it went just a little bit wide, allowing F4H Diablo to step right in there and pick up the position. One Big Kicker now in 7th, just ahead of TPR Zermatt.
Yeah, it looks like the field is starting to calm down just a little bit, but it looks like Zermatt is actually starting to move up some positions. It looks like this is going to be a little bit slower of a move compared to other races where you'll see the guys in the back just move up constantly every other lap. It looks like they're gaining a new position, but this race it looks like they've started to figure out, you know, it's 45 minutes. You do have a long time, and you do have a pit stop that you will have to make. Now, making it on the right point is going to be the biggest issue that we saw Zermatt make a major
Sorry
mistake.
to cut you off there. We've got F4H Eggy has made his move around Midland Zeta. A bit of bumping there in turn 10, and now it looks like Midland Zeta is going to fall into the hands of Jay Parrott. He stays just ahead as they cross the line for next lap. Sorry, back to you, Ryan.
That's all good, because it actually looks like Jay Parrott's going to try making a pass here on the turn 1 here, or maybe even turn 2, try to get up underneath him, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But going back to that gas mileage situation, it looked, you know, back at Long Beach on that 45-minute race again, it looked like we had actually saw Zermatt make a mistake on his calculations on the fuel mileage, and it really helped out the other drivers behind him as he had to make another pit just to get gas to make it home. But it does look like Jay Parrott is going to lose another spot to Monkey Aids.
I think he has just about pulled that off. Didn't lose the position as Monkey Aids had problems trying to put down the power on the exit of 6 there, now exiting 7. Or I'm sorry, 6. On the exit of 5, now in 6th. Sorry, approaching turn 7, 8 now, the chicane on the backstretch.
And it looks like they're all side by side. But going back to Breeze, LRT Breeze, he's actually moved back to 11. And it looks like he made a very small mistake somewhere on the lap, which caused him to actually be in last position of the running cars. Doesn't look like he's able to actually make any points.
Has he picked up damage?
The front end is a little damaged, but not a whole lot.
Let's take a look at his telemetry here real quick, see if we can't see what's... It does not look like there's any damage. Maybe just a costly mistake.
Yeah, it does look like his tires are actually starting to wear down. He's already at 20% on the front and almost 16% on the rears. If you look at his teammate LRT Nath, take a look at his tires just real quick. He's got 17% on the fronts and 17% on the rear, so it does look like Breeze may be using a little bit more of the front tires than he'd like to.
It'll be interesting to see how many laps he can go with running such high tire wear. They're only on lap 6 now. Well, I guess it would be lap 7 of the race, or is it lap 6?
It's lap 6, yeah. Yeah, lap 6 of the race, yep. Lap 6 of 26. So they still have 21 laps to go. 20 laps next time around, I should say. But they are still in a huge pack, as it looks like DKS Monkey is actually leading this group. Starting out in 5th, and it goes all the way back to 11th. And they're all within about a second of each other.
Somebody out of line there. Looks like Nath.
As Zermatt actually tries to make the pass here on Zgablo, he looks like he's trying to get a good run coming out of 11, maybe put the power down and get up underneath him coming into turn 1.
This looks like Kai PBR is going to get left out to dry as LRT Breeze goes around the outside, but he'll have the inside line. Oh man, big contact between LRT Nath and Kai PBR in turn 1 on lap 7. It just looked like Nath turned in. I don't know that he knew Kai PBR was right there, but just cut right across the nose and took them both out. LRT Breeze then moves up into 9th.
Yeah, and Breeze will try to take that as an advantage to maybe try to catch back up to Zermatt. After taking a look at some of these other guys' tires, Zermatt actually is almost up to 30% already on the front tires on damage. So it looks like he actually may have to take 2 pit stops, as you're talking about the fuel situation, as looks like DKS Monkey has actually made another mistake, which caused Diablo to get a little loose coming out of turn 6, allowing Zermatt to get back around. You know, he will be in 6th place, trying to catch DKS Monkey, who is actually trying to still pass J Parrot, who also makes a mistake into the chicane. Oh man, this is getting really interesting really quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Mistakes abound. That's what we knew we were going to be expecting here. Basically, all these drivers, you know, braking points, turn-in points are much more difficult to see in the dark. And it's certainly not being helped with how close everyone is. That just adds to the tension here. Looks like TPR Zermatt is poised to pounce on DKS Monkey just ahead.
And it looks like the tire wear is starting to get into everybody's car now, as everybody's over about 23%, along with Zermatt here already up to, like I said, 31% on the front tires.
Bit of a bump from Zermatt on DKS Monkey there allows Diablo to catch up just a little bit, sets Zermatt back, but man, he breaks deep into turn 4 and just makes up all that ground again, so right back up on the battle for effectively what is 3rd, right? Is that is Midland Zeta still ahead in the Ford that's holding this pack up. Midland Zeta 3rd, J Parrot 46 and 4th, DKS Monkey in 5th, and TPR Zermatt, who we're on board with, in 6th at the moment.
Yeah,
oh, bit wide from J Parrot. He's not going to be able to make that up. 2 cars get through. Oh man, that's terrible. At the exit of turn 6 there, just got a bit out of shape. He falls back in line. He's going to be 6th now. TPR Zermatt up to 5th. Still chasing down DKS Monkey. Monkey out of line, bit of a tap at the back, and that's going to be TPR Zermatt alongside. He's going to win it out here down into turn 9.
Yeah, it looks like these cars are really not starting to behave like they'd like them to, as they are really all over the track now. And it looks like J Parrot will actually start to take his pit. This may be a really early pit stop, as you have, he's only on lap 8 of 26, and he's already taken a pit. Taking a look at his telemetry, the only thing that's really bad is his tires. It looks like he has 8% transmission wear, but that's not really anything that would cause a pit stop. And looking at some of the other guys' fuel numbers, it looks like they're only about halfway through the fuel stop, so it looks like he may be doing a 2-stop just for tires. It looks like the LRT guys are still trying to make their way through the field, as Zermatt is now in 4th position.
3rd, actually, just took 3rd position from Midland Zeta, just as you said that, on the entry to turn 5.
And it looks like DKS is going to follow suit.
He's going to try and get it done, getting squeezed by Midland Zeta into turn 6. He's going to run a little bit wider than he would have liked. Going to try the over-under. I don't know that he'll get enough traction down. Oh, it does look like he's got... Oh, man, they're running so close.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to make room. He's telling Midland Zeta, he's like, hey, I'm here.
Oh, and a shunt. A shunt from F4H Diablo from behind. I don't know that caused any damage, but F4H Diablo now ahead. And LRT Breeze going to get through as well in turn 9. DKS Monkey will want to stay very close here. He's also running really wide again here, turn 11.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually fallen back to about 7th position. really is not looking good for DKS. He needs to really start making up positions, as Breeze is going to be the big winner in that. He's already up to 6 now. He hasn't really passed anybody. He's just kind of taking advantage of mistakes from everybody. But it looks like DKS Monkey is actually going to try taking advantage of Breeze's Dunlop chicane. He was a little bit slow through there, but it looks like he will not be able to complete the pass here coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, this really is all a result of Midland Zeta, who is, while driving well, honestly, is making his car about as wide as he possibly can throughout all these corners, and it's backing up the field. He doesn't quite have the pace, but he doesn't have such a slow pace that it's, you know, really blocking or easy to get by him, you know?
Yeah.
If he was much slower, they would just be blowing by him, and I think he's quick enough to really give these guys a little bit of pause here in figuring out how to get by him. Looks like Diablo's going to try going down the inside. Turn 9 gets the job done. Breeze thinks he'll do some of the same. Midland Zeta just kind of pushes his car right out to the white line there and says, no thanks, I'll keep that place. Midland Zeta out of position on exit of turn 11. He's going to fall back several positions. That's probably the first mistake we've seen him make.
Yeah, that's going to put Breeze up into 5th. Oh, we still see Zermatt trying to chase down Eggy for 2nd. So again, taking a look at the points, taking a look at the actual point standings. Zermatt is really going to want to try to catch N6R Gannon, who is absolutely pulled away. Especially coming through, you know, he's just now coming out of turn 5, while the main pack, consisting of LRT Breeze, it looks like they're coming into turn 5 as Gannon is coming out of turn 6. So it looks like Breeze is actually going to try to make the move here on Diablo. Looks like, you know, he's right behind him. This is going to be for 4th place. And again, taking a look at that championship, that's something that Breeze wants to take. He wants to take that position away. But looking at the tire situation, Breeze is up to 37% front tire wear. In the rears, he's actually already up to 30. So it looks like these tires are really starting to go away. It looks like they're almost running a soft compound race, essentially.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see whether, you know, he's going to start moving backwards just from tire wear. I mean, 38%. There he goes. Oh, it makes a huge mistake into the pits. He gets held up on the tire wall. It's much, much tighter than you would normally think, but oh man, that's going to cost him big.
Yeah, he's really going to want to make up a lot more room now. And I'm not sure how his damage situation looks as. Okay, so he did hit a tire wall, so there is no damage on that.
Even if there was, I mean, he's pitting immediately, but just the time lost in that, I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere in the 5 to 10 second range as he tried to reverse and then go forward, hits the wall again, gets hung up. I mean, it's just a nightmare over in the LRT camp after that pit.
Yeah,
We're going to switch it over to TPR Zermatt.
He's actually pitted on lap 12. They are currently on lap 12, so you'll probably see, you know, pits start to happen. But man, that's not where you're looking to do well. Or, you know, you don't want to pit on lap 12, but you don't want to pit too late, as the very end of the race is going to be very, very difficult for Breeze. And maybe even Jay Parrott if he's able to make it on gas. Because Jay Parrott is currently scored in 10th position, but he's already taken one pit, but that happened on lap 8. Currently, right now, Midland Zeta has actually moved all the way back to 9th place, so he's actually the last car who has not pitted yet. with 37% front tire wear and 35% rear tire wear.
So currently leading this race, we've got N6R Gannon, TPR Zermatt is second, F4H Eggy third, F4H Diablo is fourth, DKS Monkey is holding station at fifth, LRT Nath sixth, Kai PBR is seventh. Bit of a recovery there after his dreaded start. One Big Kicker is eighth, Midland Zeta is ninth, J Parrot 46 is 10th, and LRT Breeze after that pit is 11th. He lost a lot of ground there.
Yeah, because Eggy is just now coming out of the pits, and he's coming through turns 2 and 3 now, the Dunlop chicane, whereas Breeze is, let's see where he is at right now. He's actually just now coming into turn 1 to kind of give you an idea of where he's at. Eggy did pit from second place. He was in second place, but the fact that he's still that far behind is going to not make Breeze very happy.
Yeah, he wasn't far behind, honestly. He was maybe a couple hundred feet. I'm going to just guess it at 300 feet behind Eggy when he opted for the pit.
It was around there. Well, you know, I don't have the exact number on it. He was not too far behind, but Eggy was starting to get away. He was, you know, Gannon has that huge lead over top of everybody right now as he got out front around Midland Zeta as quick as he could. He's got a huge lead right now over Zermatt, who's currently scored in second while hadn't taken his pit yet. It looks like they are about the whole length of the front stretch away from each other. So it does look like Zermatt's actually starting to catch him a little bit. See if anybody else has taken their pit so far. Not seeing anybody else in the pit just yet.
We're on board right now with LRT Nath, who is currently running 5th, trying to chase down DKS Monkey. But Monkey is really having a decent race, although it looks like LRT Nath may be lining something up here. Goes to the outside in turn 4. Not going to get it done in turn 4.
Yeah, so it looks like a lot of these guys they're going to try waiting it out. Taking a look at their, taking a look at their tires, they're still very high into the 30s if you're really good at conserving tires, but if you're a normal tire user, you're around 45% right now on tires. So they are getting very close to needing to get tires, but they really want to stretch this out as much as they can to make that second stint not feel as bad, especially towards the end of the race when you're trying to make those last couple of positions up right before the flag drops. And also you want to make sure you actually make it to the end on gas, as they are currently on lap 14. Or Gannon should be going across the line right now on 15. Yeah, so N6R Gannon is actually on lap 15 of 26. So we do have about the rest of the sprint race left to go. Left in the race. Got about 12 laps left.
Looks like both Diablo and LRT Nath deciding to take their pit stop.
Now we'll really see how much Breeze has actually lost, because Breeze was actually ahead of Nath. Not by a whole lot, but he was definitely ahead of him.
We'll switch back. Breeze now just exiting turn 11, getting ready to cross the line for his 15th lap.
Take a look at this time.
Breeze is still 10th. Breeze still 10th. Man, that hurt him more than I think. I mean, that 5-10 seconds, I think that's got to be about accurate, because he fell a lot here. He's got to work his way right back through the pack.
But, while I'm watching his stream, kind of keeping up with Breeze as a whole, he actually just ran a 143.326, and his fastest lap is a 143.317, if I remember correctly. So he's actually running very, very competitive times. It's just the fact right now he's sitting back. And N6R Gannon actually takes his pit now finally, as he will pit. Looks like they're actually starting to run out of gas a little bit, but Zermatt actually will stay on track for just one more lap.
It's pretty bold stuff, honestly. These cars are definitely fuel thirsty, and so they have probably figured out ways to try and save as much fuel as possible. A little bit of a gamble, I think, from Zermatt to stay out there.
Not only Zermatt, you actually still have DKS Monkey and Kapai actually still out there who haven't pitted yet, along with Eggy, who again avoids the pit stop. But Jay Parrott he's in the front of that pack. Well, it looks like N6R Gannon. Looks like he's he's already out at the pits and he's still in 4th position, so he will stay effectively first overall, as he is right behind Kapai. He's only about a few hundred feet behind him, as he's already taken his pit. And Breeze looks like he's actually started to catch up to his teammate here.
So we've got TPR Zermatt expected to make his pit now. He's in the 7-8 chicane. I'll be interested to see with how much ease or with how much difficulty he makes it into the pit. This is a really odd pit entry, honestly. You have to make a pretty much 180-degree turn. And there's no real quick way to do it, honestly. You got to get really close to that wall on entry. He lines himself up for coming in. Don't think he lost too much time there. That's about as good as I think you can expect to have that. Now the question will be, how far back will Monkey be? Monkey also comes into the pit, which is impressive for that Mercedes. The Mercedes is thirstier than that Volvo as far as fuel economy goes. But yeah, it does definitely come in.
Yeah, it looks like he may have figured some stuff out, because it looks like all of Volvos actually waited a whole lap to come back in. But it does look like they're the last ones to pit.
N6R Gannon then does take back his race lead from TPR Zermatt and F4H Eggy in 3rd. DKS Monkey is 4th at the moment.
Oh, and it looks like, who is that? Kapai BR actually ended up coming out of the pits right in front of LRT Breeze, which caused him to go side by side through this Dunlop chicane. He got a little bit of a hit from Kapai, but it looks like he's able to actually get around him.
So that's Breeze in 8th, LRT Nath in 7th. Is that how you read that?
Yes, that is how we're looking at it. Because it looks like Breeze is actually starting to try to make up as much ground as he possibly can, just to try to make the best of this race, as he's made that huge mistake going into the pit. Luckily, right in front of him are a few, we'll say, slower drivers. They're not, they're not bad by any means, but Breeze being our championship leader, you would expect him to be a little bit faster. But it does look like he's lost a little bit of time with Kapai going into turn 2.
Riding on board right now with J Parrott 46 as he attacks the rear flank of DKS Monkey here.
And that battle right there is probably what LRT Breeze actually wants. He wants those two front guys in this battle pack right in front of him to duke it out, to slow all 3 of those guys down. Because if he can get around them, he will move up from 8th all the way up into what would be essentially 4th position, as Diablo sits there.
Yeah, you can see that both of these LRT guys are much braver on the brakes. They brake much deeper than the others, and that's where they're making up pretty much all of their time. Looks like a little bit of a mistake there from J Parrott 46 that could put him in danger of losing position to Nath, but that wouldn't bother Breeze at all. A little bit of a contact there, turn 5.
It looked like Nath actually used a little bit of that braking power you're actually just talking about and just misjudged the Volvo there from J Parrott.
This is actually quite impressive from the Mercedes. The Mercedes has one of the loosest rear ends out of all these V8 supercars, and for these top guys to be running the Mercedes and doing this well, I think that's a testament to some of the skill there. The Volvos are pretty stable cars, but they're not the quickest overall. So definitely a testament to car control. LRT Nath a little bit out of position, is starting to back up LRT Breeze. There may be team orders here to release Breeze to try and attack those two ahead. They're not going to want to fight over the same positions. He gets a little bit out of position there in turn 11 too.
And it looks like Breeze will actually get right up beside him going down into turn 1, which is by far one of the scariest corners to go side by side in, as Nate has already figured that one out, going side by side with Kapai there earlier in the race. But Breeze will look to give Nate a little bit of room, but he'll actually go ahead and take that 7th position away from his teammate. And he will be on the attack, trying to catch up to J Parrott here.
Kai PBR is still back there, right behind Nath, trying to find some way to capitalize on this team order, the change of position between the two LRT drivers, and a little bit of a slide there from Breeze slows both of them up. Nath doesn't want to get by and change the effect of them swapping places, but you can't be held up either.
Yeah, and just to kind of give y'all a little bit of an insight, there is only 8 laps left in this race. There'll be 7 the next time they come around. They are on lap 19 of 26. So they're starting to figure out that this is getting towards the end of the race. Now, one thing I will have to say is, will J Parrott make it? That's going to be the biggest thing, because he pitted on lap 8. That was when he took his pit, on lap 8. And looking at his tire situation, he's actually up to about 35% on the front, 30 on the rear.
All right, a quick run through of what the current standings are. N6R Gannon leads this race by a pretty considerable margin. TPR Zermatt runs second, F4H Eggy is third, F4H Diablo is fourth, DKS Monkey is fifth, J Parrott 46th is sixth, LRT Breeze is up to seventh, LRT Nath is eighth, Kai PBR is ninth, One Big Kicker is 10th, and Midland Zeta is 11th.
Yeah, and, obviously N6R Gannon, he is on a island of his own currently, as the next closest car is looks to be TPR Zermatt, who is in second place, but he is literally a whole straightaway behind N6R Gannon. So as long as N6R Gannon just keeps himself together, keeps himself in one piece, and doesn't make any mistakes, it looks like he may take the win, but you still have, it looks to be effectively 6 laps to go here.
Now, if he does get it, N6R Gannon, this would be his first win. The highest position he's had before was his third place at Long Beach Race 2. So definitely does better in the second race. Definitely can capitalize on being able to get through traffic, as we saw in that first lap.
Yeah, it looks to be, taking a look at him, he's, when we first started out at COTA, he was not the fastest guy on the circuit. He was actually just barely made it into the first lobby. And, he's still racing against the same people he's been racing since. TPR Zermatt, LRT Breeze, being the top guys that are still in it. But looking back then, he was almost 2 seconds behind them at COTA. but now, you know, he qualified third position, or he qualified second, only 2/10 behind Zermatt now. You know, that's, you know, a whole almost 2 seconds worth of gaining. But now he's, you know, looking to score his first V8 Supercar win.
Yeah, this is honestly, he stepped up his game. You know, you look at it and just like you said, you know, that he was kind of lucky to get into the top lobby the first week, a little bit wide there from Kai PBR. That's probably going to ruin his chances of being able to catch back up to LRT here. But back to Gannon. He's definitely stepped up his game with where he's been qualifying, his consistency. He's there every single week, pressuring those front guys that if they slip up, he's going to be right there to take these positions from them. And I think that's exactly what's happened this race. He's running first because he's right there every week, getting more and more consistent, and honestly, probably closing the gap to those outright aliens of LRT Breeze, TPR Zermatt, and GSR Roadrunner.
You know, so as far as the NGR Toro Loco team, them as a team, it looks like he is the only one. Okay, so they are actually 5th position coming into the weekend, and this win should help them out as F4H Yamaha is the one right in front of them, and they as a team are running 3rd and 4th right now. And this whole weekend should actually help out Gannon as he finished really well in that first race of, I believe, what was it, 2nd he finished?
3rd was his...
Okay, 3rd.
In the first race, is that what you mean?
Yep.
In the first race, Gannon was 4th.
Okay. So, oh yeah, that was right. He had a very minor mistake that cost him a lot there on the final lap. Yeah, so it does look like that should help them out on the team. Not only the team championship, the driver championship should help him out a lot there too. As coming into this race, he was scored as 5th place, but again with GSR Roadrunner not showing up and a win here, that's really going to help him out. And it looks like he actually may take 3rd position with Diablo being in 4th in the current race, but in 3rd in points. So he could actually move himself up into 3rd position after coming into the weekend in 6th.
We have 4.5 laps to go, it looks like.
Yeah, wherever Gannon is. Actually, no, they do have... yeah, they just started 4 laps to go. Actually, scratch, my bad. They've just started 5 laps to go. They are currently on lap 23. No, yeah, okay, so 4 laps, yes. 23 of 26. It's really hard to kind of do some of this math, especially after 45 minutes of some very, very intense racing. It looks like, taking a look back at Breeze, he's actually lost a little bit on J Parrott, but he actually has moved up in the 6th position. It looks like he made the position on DKS Monkey. And LRT Nath is going to try and make the most of that, see if he can't make a couple more positions and help out himself in the point standing, as he's really has lost out on this weekend. You know, he did have the 3rd position in that last race, but finishing 8th here is not going to be, you know, the best thing for him. Let's see what we got here. We have J Parrott still in 5th, so this is really going to help him out, but LRT Breeze is going to try making up this position. You know, getting a top 5 out of the race that he's had today is going to be a win.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this is really exactly what Gannon would want out of this. Let's take a look at who the other winners are going to be here. F4H Eggy, this is going to be a huge achievement for him. 3rd is going to be big points for him and his team. F4H Diablo in 4th. I think it's going to be a good result for him. My guess is he was expecting to finish on the podium here.
Yeah, and you know, the way it turned out was not, you know, in his plan. Midland Zeta really did help. He tried to hold his own there through most of the race, but it just did not work out. And it really helped out N6 Arganin get this huge lead over TPR Zermatt, who was just not able to put the rest of the race together. But I'm still worried about Jay Parrott, if he can still actually make it on fuel, because like I said, he pitted on lap 8, so that means he would have to go on 18 laps to finish this race out.
That's a really long way. He's gonna have to make a pit.
I mean, and also taking a look at his tire situation, he's about 51% on that left front tire, and on the rears he's about 40% on the tires. And then looking at LRT Breeze, who is still running really fast lap times with 36% front tires and 33 on the rear. So it looks like he's done a lot better on his tire situation. He may have started driving the car a little bit differently, because that first stint he was just not very fond of those front tires.
Could be strategy too. That first stint is really where you need to put the hammer down and crank out those fast laps to get yourself through traffic. Later in the race, you really just need to be consistent. But yeah, I think you're right here. I think we're going to see Jay Parrott make a pit here, either this lap or next.
Either that,
he
or
decides
just
to
run
stay out.
I think if I was him, I would just run out. You know, you have nothing to lose. I mean, currently right now, looking at the point situation, he's actually in looks to be 12th position in points. But the next guy behind him would be Kapai BR, who is only about 20 points behind him in points. But if he finishes, you know, right behind him, because Kapai is actually the last running car. Actually, never mind, my bad. He's actually running in 9th place currently. But if I was Jay Parrott, I would just run it until it ran out of gas and hope for the best.
That's a big ask, isn't it? We've got, what, 2 more laps to go?
Yes, you are correct. Actually, it looks like Gannon should be ready to take his final lap. Maybe take a look at the front here. Yeah, so Gannon is actually coming from turn 9, 10, and 11. And once he gets past 11, we will be on our white flag lap. So yeah, if I was Jay Parrott, I'm doing all I can just to finish the race, because it looks like his car is not really behaving well, and it looks like he actually made a huge mistake into the 7-8 chicane, and that's really going to help out Breeze. Maybe Breeze can get on the outside and maybe do an over-under and get a pass.
Looks like some contact there, as Jay Parrott really doesn't want to even leave a car width on the outside there. Is Jay Parrott going to dive into the pits? No, he stays out. How bold. This is going to be phenomenal if Jay Parrott can make it to the end of the race on whatever fuel he's got left. It'll be really apparent as soon as he runs out of fuel, because this car will just have no power left.
And I think he's starting to feel it now. He's not only that, but he also, like I said, his tires are just worn down. This is 18 laps around this track. And after looking at the tire wear and tire degradation, it's almost like they're running a soft compound race. So these tires are literally at the
well out of line there. Well out of line for Jay Parrott. Is LRT Breeze going to be able to get by? No, not yet. But man, every corner it looks bad. The front just slides everywhere.
Yeah, he's going to four-wheel drift every single corner. But it looks like he's actually still able to hold Breeze down. You will see a defensive line here for sure. Yeah, oh no, he actually does not. He actually allows Breeze to maybe take it in, yes. And it looks like
Breeze on the inside.
Oh, he actually makes a
but Jay
small
Parrott
mistake.
gets better exit.
He makes a very small mistake. Can Jay Parrott make it to the end of this race with over 50% tire wear and hold off our championship leader? This is going to be absolutely nuts. We have 2 more corners left in this race, as N6 Arganin has taken the win. But this battle for 5th is going to really change the dynamics of the championship, as it doesn't look like he'll make the pass here just yet. I don't think he's close enough.
Jay Parrott just ignores the pit lane, just as you said. If he makes it, that's going to be incredible. Can he do it? It looks like he's going to do it.
He will make it. He just drove 18 laps here at the Le Mans Bugatti circuit, and he will take 5th position. That is absolutely insane.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, guys, if like us, if you got as excited as we did about that and you want to get involved in racing like this, head over to theultimateracingnetwork.com, get registered over there, and in our forums you can join any one of our official series or join some of the brilliant community series. There's a Clio Cup going on right now that looks like a bunch of fun around super tiny tracks. It's really it looks like just a great run series, and there's going to be more community series popping up all the time. So head on over there and get signed up. Let's give you the race finish results here. We've got N6R Gannon winning this race. Congrats to him on his first win. TPR Zermatt takes second. F4H Eggy takes the last step on the podium, third. F4H Diablo then is fourth. J Parrott 46 is fifth. LRT Breeze couldn't manage to get around him after J Parrott had almost miraculous fuel savings there. LRT Breeze finishes 6th then. DKS Monkey is 7th. LRT Nath finishes 8th. Kaipi BR 9th, unable to get around LRT Nath. One Big Kicker is 10th, and Midland Zeta finishes out the top lobby in 11th. Again, Skullsy Slash unable to complete this race. He will be classified, but unfortunately not in the top 11. So, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and next week that race will be at Monza. It will be our first endurance race. It should be about an hour and a half race around Monza without the first chicane. That's November 8th at 3 p.m. standard. There is only one race next week, all gridded based on qualifying, so it's going to be one of those races where guys are really going to be concentrating to make sure that they do practice and get those good lap times down. Now that race, because it's an endurance race, there's not two races that weekend. Monza is actually worth double points, so a very critical race for people to make that. I think we're going to see a lot more people turning up that week as opposed to these past 2 weekends. One, we're not going to have the conflict with F1 anymore. It won't be directly after a holiday, and it will be our first endurance race. We have several drivers that have said that they're going to be here just for the endurance races, so it'll be kind of cool to see them come out next week again. That's November 8th. Guys, thanks for watching. From all of us at Turn, we really appreciate it. See you next week.
See ya.